Okay, guys, and the Senior Bowl, the East-West Shrine Bowl are all, going on basically right now. And I think a fun exercise is going to be to dive in, and what we'll do is we'll take a look at all the Big 12 draft prospects, just a quick overview, but then also look at some people that are rising or falling based on their performances in these All-Star games. Should be a lot of fun, guys. As much I think we all like the NFL draft. At least I do. And I enjoy to see how Big 12 and how my teams are doing as they project to the draft. So it should be a lot of fun, guys. Some people aren't rising super high or falling super hard. Some are. But then we'll also touch a little on like the guys that are kind of just showing that they deserve to be where they are, or maybe trending up a little or trending down just a little bit. So let's go ahead and dive in and take a look at the big board. Okay, guys, and here we are looking at the PFF NFL Draft big board. Number one guy on the board is Travis Hunter. Very impressive player here, right? Travis Hunter, clearly a monster player, a guy that I think anyone that says they don't think he's a very good player is, just I don't know what you're looking at. If you don't think he's very good, I didn't agree. I didn't think he should have won the Heisman, but I still think he's a very good player, and I think any team getting him is going to be getting a star. I think what's interesting to me is how do you use this guy? I think that'll be a fun storyline. Like whatever team does pick him up, it's like, what are you going to do with him? I think a good question mark is like a guy to relate him to is kind of like an Isaiah Simmons, if you guys remember him from Clemson a while ago. But he went to the Cardinals, I believe, and he was like this super freak athlete that played linebacker. And it was like, okay, what are you going to do with him? Yeah, he's a monster athlete. He's a freak. Where do you put him and how are you going to use him? Because if you don't use him in an effective way, it's not going to be worth where you have to pick him. And I think that's how I'd look at Travis Hunter, where he's probably a top 5 pick. But and if you get a really good receiver or a really good outside corner with a top 5 pick, probably worth it. And then you have the upside of him potentially playing both ways or being some sort of dual threat weapon. I'm excited to see how that works out. Um, Next up, Tetsuo McMillan, just monster wide receiver. Obviously, if you watched Arizona at all last year and over the previous years, he is a beast. Weird that they had Noah Fafita and Tetsuo McMillan and couldn't do more with that squad, but it looks like he actually has gone up. I don't believe he was number 3 for PFF last time I checked. Jack Beck, we are hearing a lot of buzz for Jack Beck out of the Senior Bowl. Just to give you guys little bit of news from the Senior Bowl is that he is out there just dominating guys. Let me pull up some info on him here. Jack Beck. Oh, where is he? Yeah, so he's a standout at the Senior Bowl. Obviously, his late brother Tiger was a big storyline with the passing during the what some would call a terrorist attack, Bourbon Street in New Orleans earlier this month. So, love to see him showing out. And yeah, I think at the Senior Bowl they're all wearing the number 7 on the back of their helmets for uh, Tiger Beck, his little brother. So that's awesome, man. Or his brother. I don't know if it's his little brother or older brother. Darian Porter, he's the number 42 on the board, corner from Iowa State. Haven't heard a lot of buzz there. Shador is a guy that PFF is a lot lower on than other people. And with PFF, you got to love it because they make their call, right? They make their judgment calls and they roll their dice. And if they're wrong, they're wrong. If they're right, they're right. But they stick to their guns, and I really respect that because I think it is tough to do that. Like to have Shador number 43 when it does feel like even on the lower end, some places have him in the top 20, but some places have him in the top 5. So Shador, at least PFF wise, is trending down quite a bit, but I don't think he was ever that high for them. Cam Scattaboo, oh my goodness. This is about where I would have him. That's how I kind of feel about him. I mentioned it before that, Cam Scattaboo is a super talented player. And when you're watching him with the eye test, he is doing things that are special, like very, very special. And it is very impressive. So I love that they have him there. That's how I would feel, like middle of the second round is a good spot. Ideally late second, early third, but I think you're getting a player that could easily bring back early second round, late first round value in Cam Scattaboo. Savion Williams, not shocked to see this guy here. When Utah played them, I was just bewildered with this kid. Very impressive player. This guy here, though, Jaden Higgins at the Senior Bowl. I don't know if you guys have been watching the tape coming out of the Senior Bowl. This guy is showing up and showing out. Very impressive tape. Incredible releases, incredible athleticism. This guy is a playmaker. I'm excited. I'm excited to see where he goes. Wyatt Millum, hearing rough things out of the Senior Bowl on Wyatt Millum, really struggling and might be moving inside to play the interior based on how he's looking at the Senior Bowl. So, bit of a concern there. Jonah Savienea, haven't heard too much on him. I feel like I've heard a little bit, but I'm not sure if he's a riser or a faller. Let me see if we got anything here. Any news? Boom. All right. So he's getting reps at guard. I'm not sure if that would mean he's rising or falling. This is from an Arizona fan page, so not going to get a ton of detail there. Devin Neals looked pretty good at the Senior Bowl. Mello Dotson, not sure if he's in the Senior Bowl, but a good corner, top 100 corner. RJ Harvey, another piece of that UCF puzzle that just didn't work out. So that's kind of the top 100 guys. Let me see. Jalen Knoll, I've heard really good things. There, haven't heard a ton on Tyler Batty from the Senior Bowl. Junior Tafuna, I've heard he's been killing it. Taj Brooks, been pretty silent. Not even sure if he's in the Senior Bowl, but that could just be my ignorance. Karine Reed is another guy that I've heard really good things about in the Senior Bowl. So excited to see how that goes. Anyone else mentioning here? I've seen clips of Ollie Gordon, but not really heard too much. So if you guys have any more info on any of the prospects and how they're doing in the Senior Bowl, drop it below. Just because I'm not hearing a ton doesn't mean that you're not hearing a ton. Like I mentioned, I'm a Utah guy, so I'm I'm a Big 12 guy, but I'm a Utah guy. That's the fan pages I'm following mostly. So I'm gonna see the buzz around the Utah guys. So if you're a Colorado, UCF, Oklahoma State, whatever fan, especially Kansas had a few guys in there, let me know how your guys are doing. I'd love to hear what we're thinking from the source. So yeah, that's the Big 12 risers and fallers with all the All-Star games going on.